Now, welcome to the next video where we will be exploring the data set, data schema, and other portions as well. Before dive into the technical part, let's revise what we have done in previous session. Previous session, we just connected Azure Data Lake storage with our blob storage. And here is the data set inside this storage dev 2025. I provided the path here. This is the respective source. Later on, I created schema in order to map that file here. And then I just created this df where we can read the data from that respective directory, raw final, and all CSV file will be there. Because the CSV, whenever we are writing or writing some external source, this is going to write in different chunk, different modules. So I'm going to write all CSV on condition that this must have, all CSV must have same schema. Now I'm going to print that schema here. I'm going to display the df, which is showing this df part here, and going to show all the schema as well. So let's say display all data set. For example, before writing that data here in our local machine, we need to check whether we have same database or schema or the catalog where we are going to write the data here. So I'm going to write this catalog schema that catalogs, and going to list inside this catalog. I'm going to list all the database here. So just remove last two, keep this one only. So this is going to display all the database here. So maybe some Spark, and then catalog, and then list databases. Maybe okay. As you can see, it's throwing an error because we do not have any catalog here. So what you'll do, you just go back here in your catalog option, create a catalog. So what I'm going to use, I'm going to use catalog underscore dev underscore 2025, and then keep it type standard, and let's create it. Okay, this is going to configure catalog. So I'm not going to configure anything here, just keep it as it is. Come back to your catalog, click on this partial here. You can see this is going to create dev catalog. Click on this one, go to permission, and grant this permission to respective users. So I'm going to search my username here. This would be username, and going to scroll down, all privileges, external use schema, and everything. That's it. Let's grant this permission to our catalog. Here it is. You can see this is having all privileges, external use case, browse, everything is there. Now go back here and rerun this code again. Let's see, do we have the same schema or any other catalog is there? No, it is not showing that catalog. Means we have to create something else. There was an error in previous code. Now I have written this code in order to display all available catalogs. You can see spark.sql for show catalogs. Now I'm going to display all catalogs, and this is the catalogs which we are working on. And using this catalog, we can create more and more schema and more values. Okay, if you want to see the respective catalog here, so you can go and you can display the same code using the catalog. So I'm going to use this catalog here. So this is showing the catalog value. Can you see? This is also showing the respective code. So we do not have any databases. This was the reason it was not showing anything here. Okay. So if you are working any Unity catalog, for example, I'm going to use a Unity catalog. So I'm going to set that and then create the schema. So I'm going to use that catalog, Unity catalog. So I'm going to use this one and going to use this catalog dev, this name. Okay, so this would be my catalog name. So I'm going to use this catalog underscore dev underscore 2025. So I'm going to use this catalog. Now everything will be defined in this catalog only. I'm going to use my SQL command percentage SQL and hit enter to create that schema, the database. So because I do not have the database, I'm going to use if not exist and then name it as database underscore dev underscore 2025. Okay, now hit and run this code. This is going to create our database. Now go back here and try to run all the database again, because previously it was showing error. So now I'm going to display all the respective databases so that we can display all the parts here. So let's rerun this code, and here you will be finding everything here. Can you see this is showing the name is there, catalog is there, and everything is showing here. So I'm going to move down this cell so that we can have the proper values. All right, now we have catalog, we have databases. Now we can create and we can write our data set to our data frame. So I'm going to write that data which we have imported from that part. So I'm going to write the data frame. So let's create a heading here and let's run. Okay, now I'm going to write df dot write, and inside this I'm going to use format. Inside this I'm going to use format delta, so that we can have all the Delta Lake architecture warehousing properties. If you do not know much about Delta Lake architecture or Delta format, you can watch my video series where I have explained in details and illustrate more about this Delta format. Now I'm going to use this new line where we have dot mode. Inside this dot mode I'm going to write override, and I'm going to use inside this mode I'm going to use save as table. Save as table, and save as table, just give the name of the table. Inside this table underscore dev underscore 2025. This would be save as a table name. Okay, so what I have done, I have written our file delta format, then we just overwritten that file and it's going to read that table in our particular schema. Whatever it will be written, it will be written in that database and in that catalog. If you want to check this file as a table format, now you can go up where we had all the properties here. I'm going to copy and going to paste it here. Okay, now you can see this has been done. Now go back to your catalog, refresh it again, click on your catalog, click on your database dev 2025. Here you can see this is not showing, but after some time it will be certainly here only. If you refresh multiple times, then it will be displaying here only. Here you can see by mistake it just written in a default, but if you want to write in database dot underscore dev dot 2025, you will have to write that path also. So I'm going to display this sample data. Can you see this is just importing from my ADLS Gen 2. I'm going to copy this full name to my clipboard, come back to my code and going to write this name here. I'm going to delete everything and going to rerun this cell so that we can write this file into catalog into default. Sorry, not default, but I want to write into database dev 2025. Got C and replace this default to my database name. and rerun this cell. If you look at here, in previous cell, it was written this same code in this table div, which was under default umbrella. Now we have written that file by giving full path inside database dev 2025 and then table dev 2025 under the same catalog. This is the way you can write. If you will not give the full path, it will write in the same catalog but in default. If you will provide the same database or schema, then you will have certain table name here. This is how you can write your database or table. You have created that table. This table is being created and we are going to use this table to our next part. Okay. So I'm going to cover the next part in a next video where we will be using delta live tables.